our church. And therefore there is a lot of competition unknowingly. Na tunajipata ndani yetu kuna kitu ya kushindana. Because I have said, when it comes to competition, you want to outdo everyone in all ways, by all means. Na hii ni shida kubwa ambayo iko ndani yetu unknowingly. And you know, that was the problem with the devil, because he was now looking for the position and he wanted to compete with God. Praise God. Na akasema, I will arise, I will ascend, I will be like God. Why should he be the one? Sisi mpaka mimi na watu wote na malaika and every creation, we are bowing to him. No, I must actually be the one also. So the devil went for the position, and in pursuit of position, people compete with others. The pursuit of competition or positions will always birth competition. So wakati watu wanaanza kukimbilia na kufuata positions sana, and the position, I said it is the image. You want to have the name, the status, the fame, the reputation. And therefore, because of pursuing position, tunajipata, it begins to birth a competitive spirit in us. Na tunaanza kuongozwa na roho ya mashindano. Sometimes there are people who are buying things not because they want them, but because they are competing with someone. There are people who are buying clothes, building houses, buying gadgets, but because uliona mwingine akonayo and you want to outdo them, so you end up even incurring expenses ambazo hazikuwa muhimu. Wakati mwingine hata watu wanachukua maloans because there is an image you want to present, because you must outdo someone else and you must have a name. Competition. Na kwa sababu hiyo, you find people are not living their lives. They live a lie. Because nikiishi vile nilivyo na kuna watu wako mbele, ukitembea kwa fulani na ukute nyumba yake vile ilivyo, ukute zile vitu ambazo ziko pale, now you begin now to go and tell your husband, did you see the fridge? Did you see the fridge? Na hata kwenu kuna fridge, lakini unasema yenu ni amko. Ni amko ama ni amko? Amko. Unasema uliona hiyo. Hiyo ni ile unasimama, una knock, inakwambia welcome na inajifungua. Na ni fridge. Si titi yako gushia mirago, you just knock and it smiles on you. Lakini unamwambia nuona amko itoria tuguthithanagia. Now, and because of that, competition, wherever you go on our roads, my car is better than yours, my children are better, and because of that, there is a lot of competition. Na kwa sababu ya competition, I want to say three things. Competition comes as a result of comparison. When you begin to compare yourself with others, it will always breed competition. Wakati unaanza kujilinganisha na wengine, you compare what you have, what you are doing, where you are, na vile wengine walivyo na mahali waliko, unaanza sasa kuwa na roho ya mashindano. And whenever there is competition, I say that it comes as a result of comparison. And let me say, whenever there is comparison, ukijilinganisha na watu, there will be always two outcomes of comparison. Number one, ukijilinganisha na watu, two things will happen. You will be better than others you are comparing with, or you will not be as better as others. So the first thing, as a result of comparison, you become proud, or it births pride when you are better than others. Comparison. Every time you compare, kuna watu ambao wako chini yako, and you are doing better than them. You have more money than them. You can preach better than them. You have a bigger church than them. You can sing better than them. You have a better car than theirs. Your children are doing better than their children. You have more money than them. You have a better house than them. Because unapoanza kujilinganisha, then you will always look down on others. So you become proud. You begin to feel you are better than others. I'm more educated. I can speak better English than them. So ile jambo ya comparison na ndio inaanza, because now you begin to compete with them. So you begin now to look down on others. Unaanza kuangalia and unapuuza watu. You begin to look at some churches, some pastors, some ministries, some people who are serving God with you. I wish I was the one who was preaching that message. And therefore, there is a feeling of I am better, and you become proud. Praise God. And I have told you, in this life, when you compare yourself with people, kuna watu uko mbele yao. Isipokuwa ni wewe huwa unajichukia, but there are people who cannot afford even the clothes you have today. But here you are crying. There are people who cannot even afford, who did not even afford to go to college, though you are crying because of school fees. And so number one, when you are doing better, you compare unapojilinganisha na wengine, and you are doing better than them, unaanza kuwa ndani yako na kiburi. And that means you have that feeling of I am better. Number two, result of comparison, it is when others are better than you. Now, kwa sababu there is someone who is better than you, who is more beautiful than you, who has a better body shape than yours, whose figure 8 comes better than yours. Yours at least 8 inataka support. Yao inajisimamisha. Lakini some have good hair, some have brighter teeth, some have those nice eyes, and others have a better smile. The others, their nose. hata wewe huwa unaangalia unasema mwathani ngaitiga nini ururiri kinya he undu uri hihinyaga ukoiga korwo nori cokanire no gego korwo nori cokanirire ni igire model, but you look at others, and therefore when you compare, number two, it not only brings pride, and when others are better than you, it births inferiority. Unaanza kujiona duni, and then you begin to say, I am not as better, as important. Na unaanza kujiona, and therefore when you compete and there is someone who is doing better than you, when you feel inferior, did you know, listen to this, people who are inferior, they always attack others to feel superior because of what is lacking in them. And you should learn that. It's very important. Psychologically, wakati jambo linakwambia someone is better, na unaona evidence is there and they can be preferred, you will resort, usipo saidiwa na Mungu, you resort to attacking them to compensate, to solve the inferiority in you. And only when you bring them down, there is a feeling, you are feeling good, and you feel superior by bringing them down. And it happens in many of us. Sometimes you can attack their children, you can say it's okay, but and there is always something you will bring up. Kuna jambo utaleta, na katika ile harakati, instead of accepting that there will always be a person better than you, and you live with that, bila kujua, you become very critical. You become very negative. Unaanza kujiona kuwa very negative, and you even don't know, and people cannot understand you. The negativity in you, it is because of an inferiority, because someone is doing better than you, because someone is having or calling the shots more than you. And I want to tell you, let there be, reconcile this in your mind. Someone will always be better than you, no matter how best you are. Praise God. Mimi ninataka, there will be someone who will have a better church. He will preach better than I, no matter how much. Even if they may not have your congregation, but they will have more favor. They will be doing better. Katika maisha yako, you don't have to attack others to feel good about yourself. There are people who survive, na ndani yao huwa wanajisikia ni watu na wako na nafasi, as long as there is someone they are tearing down. Competition, because of comparison. Wengine, you become proud. So these two things you need to watch. I need to watch. Remember, I said, just like Apostle Selman, this is not a message ya waambie, ama an imposed message that I am bringing it to you. No, it is because kuna mahali utaenda ukute kanisa venye imejengwa, ukute mchungaji mmoja venye anasimama watu, and they are supporting him and doing well, and there can be a feeling of inferiority, and you can begin attacking his ministry so that you can actually satisfy the inferiority so that you can feel superior. Now watu, most of the times, you want to always be the only one. And that is why you bring others down so that you can be the only one. Watch against competition. Praise God. Did you know even Satan, I said, his problem and his sin was the sin of competing with God for a position. And I want to ask, because you are Satan now, Lucifer, he was not Satan that time. Satan dobe to a goma. Atwekeire goma iguru. Athukeire gatagati ona mundu. Haya. Satan was Lucifer, the son of the morning. But now he was an angel, an archangel like Michael and Gabriel. Now his name was Lucifer. Na sasa kiumbe kikatazama muumbaji na kikaona position ya muumbaji vile ilivyo, the honor, the glamour, the praise, everything is worshiping the man who is occupying the position. And the devil looked for the position and fought for the position, but forgot the responsibility that comes with that position. Now that you want to be like God, can you do what God does? It's okay. Unataka mahali amekalia na wewe ukalie, shetani. Si we naita shetani. Ni shetani naongea. I'm now talking to the devil. Anasema, I will sit there. Now, are you thinking beyond the seat and thinking about what that seat comes with? Tomorrow, don't miss, I will be talking about that woman mwenye alikuja kwa Yesu, the mother of Zebedee's sons, akawaambia, let my sons, one, John and James, one to sit on your right and one to sit on your left in your kingdom. The mother was looking for positions. Because in every man, there is always a cry, I want to be the one. Even in the ministry of Jesus. By the way, even tomorrow I will talk. Even one day, wakati Yesu alisema, I am about to be crucified, na wakaona ishara zote huyu jamaa anaenda, they asked one another, who is the greatest? We want to know positionally. Now, we want to talk of positions. Katikati yetu, we are 12. But who is the greatest? Peter would say, I came first. Judas would say, I am the more trusted with money. What has he trusted you with? So who is the greatest? Positions. So, listen. If in heaven, the battle in heaven was the battle of positions. The battle in the ministry of Jesus was the battle of positions. So, this is a real thing that we must understand about positions. Tomorrow it will be better by the grace of God. So Satan anataka position, but does he sit down and ask, it's okay, can I do what he does? Before I occupy his office, not do a care guy. Can I love people? Can I sustain the creation? Can I be the provider? Or do I just want the position because of the things, the glory? Most of us, we aspire for the glory. Tunatamani, macho yetu yanazibwa, hatuoni chochote. We just want the glory, but we don't want the responsibility that comes with the position. And that is why I want even to keep on saying, as I said yesterday, even for you young men, for you young ladies, you just want to do a wedding, to be a husband. It's not a position to run for. There is no prize. It comes with a price. But many of us, do you know what it means to be the husband of someone? Have you been taught? Did you enter into the covenant of marriage knowing what entails the position, I am your husband, and now I am a father. There are people who look up to me. I am a mother. I am a wife. But most of us, it's my wedding day. Today it's my wedding day. Wedding show. No. Don't go for the wedding show. Begin to know. Praise God. Maana unaona sasa hawa vifaranga hawa vifaranga ni wangu, and they have no one else to look up to. I will be their role model. I will not just be Mr. So and so, but I must know the price. And you ask, are you willing to pay the price that comes with the office? Count the cost. Before you compete and you compare yourself, count the cost. Tell your neighbor, count the cost. Yes. Every position comes with a cost or with a price tag. Now, competition will come as a result of comparison. And competition will always birth conflict. Competition comes as a result. Inakuja kwa sababu ya comparison. And when you compare, I have said the two things, inferiority, and then there is the superiority, pride. And number three, competition. Unapoanza kuwa mtu wa mashindano, competition will always birth conflicts. There will be conflict in you and conflict among the people you are competing with, whether they know it or not. There will be conflicts within. Competition huwa inazaa a lot of conflict. Unajisikia ndani yako kuna tuvita. Winatofara. Hata wewe hujui, but you have been competing. You are angry. You want to outdo someone. You go and take a loan. And there are conflicts. You are depressed. You have a lot of stress. Conflict within and conflict outside with the people you are competing with, even when they sometimes don't know you are competing with them. Unakuta watu, you are competing with someone who is living their lives, and competition makes you live a lie. You don't live the real life. Competitive people live a lie. They don't really live. They don't live in reality. They live in a lie. Now, maana you are competing with someone ambaye anaendeleza maisha yake. They are just doing what they are supposed to do. Now go back to the story of Saul. Saul is competing, anajikompea yeye na Daudi, a whole king. Saul could probably be 40 years. David is around 17 to 19. Na anaanza kujikompea. Anaanza kuuliza, mbona wamama wanamuimbia nyimbo za 10,000, mimi ninaimbiwa nyimbo za 1,000. I should be the one receiving those songs. I should be the one. So competition always says in you, I should be the one. I should be the one leading there. I should be the one going into that place, leading that department. I should be the one with such a big congregation. Why should Apostle so-and-so, Bishop so-and-so, Bishop Julian Chula do that Rema feast? I should be the one. Why should the whole nation? Why should the president visit that church? Why should the governor visit that? I should be the one. And Saul had that problem. And you cannot accept that others can have the songs that should be sung to you. No kuri dugitikia ni agimarainirwo. Taru ithui he hingo twagurire cassette, radio cassette ile ya National Star. Isijui kama unajua hiyo mungenunua ile ya speaker mbili, pande hii na pande hii. Na ya cassette unaweka cassette pande A na pande B na una dub. Tuwetaka ku dub. Yani ukadub una copy ile piracy. Unaweka hii na una record ya B. B ni ya recordaga kana ni B. And then una dub. Tulinunuliwa radio cassette. My dad alipokuja nayo, maana ni mimi tulienda na yeye. I don't know whether it was in 1995. Tulienda na yeye tukanunua Nairobi. Asi vile agisivu. Sasa hiyo tulitoka ka radio ya Sanyo, ile ya Sanyo na Philips zile za kitambo. Sasa ni mwagura National Star. We mwalimu no ari nayo. We mwalimu ndwendete raha. Ukwenda raha ile yotari ile we mwana kiorere we muthuri. So we bought aduagai. Kufika kwetu unajua saa hiyo hakukuwa stima. So tulikuwa na battery ile tulikuwa ile twatwaraga kwa headman yegasajo. Tunapopeleka ikakuja, tuliweka radio. Na kwa sababu alinunua cassettes mbili, agurire cassette igire, rwa Kariuki wake ya Rutara na rwa Samu Kinuthia. Mwaigua nyimbo imwe dimenye ile iguru andu akanitha. And wakati aliweka kijiji na watu wa kwetu rwipurwekirwa andu makarigwo ni kuku. Maana ile it should not be there, it should be somewhere else. Na vita zingine unapigwa sio kwa sababu wewe ni mbaya, ni kwa sababu uko na kile wale wengine wangetaka ikue yao. Do you know sometimes you are doing better than others, and that is why sasa mimi nauliza Goliath Saul anauliza David nini? Todo ni woya itimuri ugiorio uramuraga niki? Arainirwo niki na ni njagirwo kuinirwo. So sometimes you are not that bad. It is because you are doing better than others. Tell your neighbor, it's because you are doing better than others. And that is why watu hata katika mahali pa kazi, they will hate you for nothing. It's because no, I should be the one. I should be the one. So why? Why? By the way, do you know ndio maana hata wachawi anataka kukuroga because it seems you will be doing better. Gutire murogi ungikuroga ni tondu wa guthina kumukira. Mudushi uria athina nena mahitaji no ni no demurogire no, but when it seems your star is rising, there will always be people who will be rising to pull you down, but you cannot bring down the ones that God is raising up. And because God is the one raising you up, no one and nothing can bring you down. Now competition breeds conflicts, and conflicts will always bring division and will bring destruction, both to the person and to the people he is competing with. Hata kanisa wakati competition inaingia, kwa kikundi competition inapoingia, kwa uongozi competition inapoingia, it breeds conflicts. Na nimesema there are conflicts within. Na kuna watu kuna vita ndani yao. You have a lot of inner conflicts. And it is because umekuwa ukijikompea na wengine. Haukubali mlikuwa high school na wao na ulikuwa unawashinda na walienda vizuri kukuliko. Haukubali mlikuwa na wao youths na wakaolewa na wewe bado siku yako haijafika. Ukoiga ona muthuri ucio ti muhonoku wega. Aca ni muhonoku Ngai. Gukorwo waku ndokite ti kuhonokora. Tika kuhonokorera muiritu uri ungi muthuri. Praise God. Na uge ona thiko ici athuri ni marakua mbere. Don't bring the athuri makuaga. No, don't bring those things. What I am saying, there will be inner turmoils, inner conflicts. Na hizi ni shida kila mtu wetu ana struggle nazo. Praise God. Some inner conflicts. My younger brother and venye ana succeed. And you look at them and maybe you are the younger brother than the others. And the others, they think that prosperity follows birth order. It's because you are the firstborn, you must always be the one who is first in everything. But you look at life, you were the firstborn when it comes to birth order, but you are the last when it comes to things. Uko naga ginya niwe orerwo thambie ngari ya your younger brother. Ukaba ukoraga icio. Because you now there will be competition, conflicts within, and you begin to have fights na watu adona matiramenya. Why do you type some things in the social media? Do you know some of you are typing things and a very wise person can read between the lines? This is a statement that has conflict in it. And you want to, there is someone somewhere, and it is not imaginary. You are fighting or you post something, you post yourself. Wenye mulikuwa munasema hatutaenda mbali, hapa ni wapi? And you look at that. Who said you will not go far? Hata hakuna ungeulizwa ni nani, unasema kuna watu atemougite mutirathie kunene na mahali unasema ni mbali ni Kawangware. Brethren, there is some imaginary battles, and there will be, I say, even when there is. Did you know there are even husbands who compete with their wives? And there are wives who compete with their husbands. Woe unto you, listen to you men, if you are a competitive husband. Your wife cannot have more money than you, cannot do better. You know she is a graduate. You know she akona na fikra and she is business minded. Because of competition and mwanaume ni sauti. So sauti yako haitakuwa sauti ya kuongoza. It will be the voice of attacking, demeaning your wife. And you will actually make sure you bring her down. Kwina arume wanaume wa siku zetu. Now, the girls of our times, sio wale watu ulikuwa unakatia anachorea chini ama anachora chini, ukikatia yeye anakutazama akaga, can you repeat? Akororete dui atene kairitu wakiraga, mimi sitaki hivyo unaniambia, mimi nitaambia mama. Ahidi no, wa siku hizi arakoria. Kuna mwingine aliniambia, pastor, na ni msichana, aliniambia vijana wa siku hizi ni wajinga. Na nikairetu unaona ni mtu kama akona, I want to say what she told me. Unafikiria akona akili maana ya vile amedress na vile hata ni graduate, lakini mkikaa unampima hivi na msichana anakuangalia hivi, anasikia venye anasema wengi ni wajinga, mpaka unaona hii ujinga siwezani nao. Akaniambia ndio maana you find ourselves, we are young and we want mature men. Gimenya ni arumeta hivi areda, gimwira hapana, lakini wewe sio mimi. Unajua naweza kuwa ananikatia na sijui. Well, let's finish the gospel. So ukipatana na mwanaume kama huyo, the best thing they can do is to bring you down instead of supporting your wife. She is business minded. Support yeye succeed kwa biashara. Support yeye kwa career. Support yeye kwa maisha. And when, do you know the compound effect of building her? She will build you, and your life and your house will be built together. It will come back to you. And therefore, I wish that every man can be there for their wives. You build them. Let them not feel small because you are the man. Let them feel great and say, in fact, tangu ni kuje mikononi mwako, now I feel myself more worth. You have raised my worth because of the words you speak. Maneno yako sio ya kumshusha. You raise her self-worth. Our girls are doing very well, doing very well. But they fall into the hands of a tyrant, a mercenary. Gitoi, mamuruki. Ile mermaid tulikuwa tunakiita aje? Mermaid kiria kia rui. Undu twagitaga na Gikuyu. Gwendaga kuga athuri amwe mahana. Ndirakiririkana. No ni giguka. Tijaga undu twagitaga. Na don't be a mermaid. Now listen. Let me read for you some scriptures we finish. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12 to 18. Please look at this. I'm finishing together with Philippians 2 verse 3 to 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. 10, 12 to 18. Thank you. Look at this. For we dare not class ourselves, because competition and comparison will always build classification and a class of people. And so you believe, I belong to this class. Na kwa sababu hiyo hata kwa kanisa unakuta kuna class and people begin to brand themselves. So we do not class ourselves or compare ourselves with those who commend themselves. But they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. For we, however, will not boast beyond measure. Look at this. It births pride. We will not boast beyond measure, but within the limits of the sphere which God appointed us, a sphere which especially includes others. Because competition will always exclude others so that you can remain yourself. We are not overextending ourselves. Yes, as though our authority did not extend to you, for it was to you that we came with the gospel of Christ. And not boasting of things beyond measure, that is, in another man's labor. The next verse, to preach the gospel in the regions beyond you, verse 17. But he who glories, let him glory in the Lord. For not he who commends himself is approved, but whom the Lord commends. Philippians chapter 2 verse 3 to 4. Philippians chapter 2 verse 3 to 4. Please look at this. Now look at this, dear ones. Let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit, but in lowliness of mind, let each one of you honor and esteem others as better than himself. Let each one of you look not only for his own interests, but also look for the interests of others. And now let me finish with this. And how to deal with competition. How to deal with competition. Number one, we have read in verse 18 of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 18. If you want to deal with the spirit of competition for position, to be better, to outdo, to outsmart others, you must focus on God's approval and commendation, not your own or people's approval. Focus on God's approval and commendation, not your own. Don't commend yourself. Don't look for the approval of others. Biblia inasema it is